Hey guys, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. This is your Mantis Dry Fire Monday, and I'm Brian Hill with the Complete Combatant, bringing you some shooting skills and drills and hopefully improving your primary hand only shooting.
With guided drills and real-time feedback, the Mantis Laser Academy allows you to have a training facility at home and at your convenience. Get quality reps with your own equipment and experience a higher level of dry fire training with positive results that you can see and feel. Laser Academy's variety of drill options also keeps things fresh for shooters, making practice feel more like a game and less like a chore. I use it all the time and recommend it highly.
A lot of people want to get better at primary and support hand only shooting. Whether they're working on the Mantis drills or they're working on dot torture, it becomes important to them somewhere along the way. Primary hand only shooting is much more important than support hand only shooting. Looking at Active Self-Protection Extras videos, a lot of times your hand is busy holding a flashlight, moving somebody out of the way, or just holding onto something you refuse to drop even though it would benefit you. So we want to practice both. But it occurred to me, what is the time difference between the two? Okay, how can I shoot? What should I expect time-wise between two-handed shooting and then primary hand only shooting? All right, so we're going to look at that real quick. Got my trusty friend, the timer, out here. That way we can get a good look at it. Now it's a little cold today. You can see I'm wearing a hoodie, and we're going to be working on that and see if that works on my trigger speed. Now usually when I have two hands only, it's about 0.2 splits at this distance. I'm about 5 yards from the target. I'll try to keep myself in view so you can also see me in the target. I know that's important to some of you. And then that way we can see what it looks like. What I'll do is 5 shots with two hands and then 5 shots with one hand and see how it works out. We'll look at the time difference between it. Now listen, if I'm shooting a very small target, it would have significantly bigger differences between each shots, whether I had two hands or one hand. So we're just working on the idea of the efficiency and the speed of this is what can allow me some control. So I'm trying to keep everything in the big circle of the cue target. When you're working speed and efficiency, you have to relax the accuracy standard. So I wouldn't want to shoot this on a bullseye drill. It'd be a different kind of drill if I did. All right, let's look at it real quick. All right, looks like I'm good. Okay, everybody stand by. 5 shots. Okay, a little trigger freeze in the middle of it. So 21, trigger freeze was the 35, 23, 19, 22. All right, so let's just say 20 is pretty much is a normal thing. Everything's in the circle. It's a pretty tight little group. Okay, got a little bit of trigger freeze in there. Being cold does affect the way that you shoot these things, and I've noticed a difference in my splits today overall because my hands are cold. I don't really feel as well as I should, so I got to make sure I let that trigger reset all the way. I did an accuracy and precision video just before this, and I may still be holding the trigger to the rear. It's a bad habit. It creeps in every once in a while, so I'm going to keep my eyes open for that. Now I'm going to shoot this with the primary hand only. Okay, and what that means is I'm going to really engage my armpit and all the muscles of the sits region on the back. All right, what you would refer to as the rotator cuff. That's what's going to give me a lot of stability. I want the gun to track straight up and down for me. Okay, so I'm going to put the elbow in a nice bent position, and I'm just going to follow the dot and press the trigger as I see it come back each time. So let's see what the time differences between the two looks like. All right, 5 shots. Let's look at the splits on these. All right, the reaction time is the standard about a 1/4 second. Okay, and then I had a 44, a 40, a 40, a 41, and the last one was a 40, 40, 40. So all the way across 40s. So about double. All right, but it didn't make a big difference in my accuracy. So it took me 0.2 longer one-handed for the dot to return back to the same spot, and that's what it's costing me on that. You know, if the target was smaller or the distance it was different or something was in the way or it was moving, I was moving, it would affect both of them. But now I have a really good basis to look at. So I should be shooting 0.4 splits at this distance, probably out to 7, 10 yards. I can shoot at that pace with a one-handed, 0.2 splits with two-handed. So double the time, but not nearly as much as you might think. Okay, and let's make sure we look at the target real quick. And one thing that's kind of interesting, This was my group here for two-handed, and this was my group here. Everything's stringing vertically. For me, it's more important vertically. That's why I keep the gun straight up and down. If you can it a little bit, it tends to go this way, and it's much easier to be off. I'd rather be up and down during the center of the target than diagonally. Thumb position doesn't really matter, okay? You pick the one you like. You can either do thumb down, you can do thumb forward, you can do thumb up, or you can do thumb at half position at 45. It's not engaging. We're not squeezing with that side. It's just blocking a little bit. So find the proper thumb position for you and work it on your shooting. But get out and measure this and see how it works for you, so when you know that you're shooting, and then depending on the size of the target, so that's a very fast, quick, focused pace for me, easy. It would probably be 0.3s two-handed here and 0.6s here, and then I would imagine it would be 0.5s here and 1 second splits probably on that, which is about your dot torture. But I'm just watching the dot and coming back down, letting it settle, and managing it, cleaning it up the whole time. All right, guys, I hope that helps you out with your one-handed shooting. Get the armpit down, let it track vertically, watch the dot, watch the front sight, clean it up as you go. Expect about maybe double the difference between the two, and that way you know not to go faster, because some of you get stuck in cadences. You shoot at the same pace no matter what, whether you have two hands or your other hand, whatever is going on. So make sure that you're doing it off a visual cue constantly of what we're seeing in the sights, and then we're cleaning up the trigger as we address the sight moving. All right. Practice it with your Mantis. It'll track it. It's going to track your aiming process. All right, really good for these drills right here. Really good. You can do it in dry and live fire too, and that'll help you out a lot. And then if you guys will, hit the subscribe button, hit the like, leave a comment for us, and I really appreciate it. I'm Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant, and as always, measure, refine, and perform.